Steps I Took podcast.
We're back again.
We're back in, man. How
back
you doing?
in black.
Yeah, black matching. Yeah, how you doing, Achasa?
I don't even want to say that I'm tired because I know that you've done a bigger workout than me, but like...
Yeah, but if you're tired, man.
It's true.
It's a real podcast. Like, it's, you know, like we have those days. You know what I mean?
Running's not for me, but soon I'll come back here and I'll be like, I'm a runner. I'm a running bae.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, and then you'll be signing up to all the competitions, yeah?
Yeah, right now I've got a 10K, women's run, 3rd of November. So
Nice.
I might die after that, but we'll see.
Yeah. Nice, man. I'm looking forward to getting into the conversation today. Our guest today, someone I've known for a while actually, and is not from Dubai, from London. And I'd say someone that thinks outside of the box all the time. Like every time I've kind of, you know, seen from afar or close up, like anything he's been doing has been kind of like setting a trend, you know.
Setting the tone.
Whether it's in events, whether it's in, you know, in lockdown, deciding to create like a business market or create like a card game. Like who thinks of creating a card game? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And
even
also, go on.
traveling the world to explore different things, not just the coffee shops that everyone else usually does, but actually taking initiatives to, like you said, think outside the box.
Yeah. Reviewing gyms and also like, you know, running some of the biggest parties. You would say in London, but actually now it's fair to say in Europe and then even in the world
global
now. You know what I
now.
mean? Global. So welcome, Matthew Bridgeman.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. How you
That
doing?
was sick. I'm happy, man.
Yeah.
That was really, I was like listening like, are they talking about me? This is sick.
Yeah.
But,
You and your achievements.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
man. Got to give the flowers when the flowers are due, man. You know what I mean? So
Before we get into it though, because we always love to dive into it, we have a tradition on our podcast.
Okay.
We have two traditions actually. One's at the start and one's at the end. So our first question to you is, what has been the best part of your week so far?
Ooh. That is actually a tough one because I have been all over the place this week. I'm gonna go with probably today. I know it sounds weird. It's been here. No, I'm sure it will be. But no, I just felt really productive and you know, like a sense of fulfillment in terms of the content I got done this morning, especially then being able to get here on time and having the event as well. And I think I was shocked at, not to fast forward stuff, but the gym tour I did this morning, I was very pleasantly surprised. Like I went there with a very small expectation. I just went there because I thought it'd be a pretty view. And then I was like, this is amazing. And I really enjoyed myself, got a good session, and I think I got some really sick content. So I was happy that I was able to make use of my time in Dubai for that reason. But yeah.
Nice. Because you've been like a weekend, right? It's like a quick in and out.
In and out.
Yeah.
But to be fair, a lot of the time when we travel is one day. So at least this is Friday to Monday. So there's a little time to, I wouldn't even say soak it in, but just get stuff done because it's been a non-stop schedule since I've been there.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you. So like before we get like deep into it, I feel like it's always a good place to start like looking back, you know, to one's younger self. So what was life like for you when you were younger, like a young Matthew? Because, you know, in the intro, I kind of said that, you know, you're doing X, Y, Z, and obviously it's evident you're quite creative, but was it always like that when you were younger? Or
Yeah, I was always a bit of a hustler in terms of just, I think I launched my first business, like literally limited company at 15 years old.
Wow.
Which was weird. Yeah, what was
it?
It was a clothing line actually. That's how me and Taser met. So my business partner Taser, we both had clothing lines. His is still going, 40s. I had one called Culprit Clothing. And basically I used to, at first, how did it originally start? I think it started where I learned how to do vinyl printing, like the designs and stuff. And then I can't remember the exact order, but then I learned how to do it myself. Got hold of the machine, the heat press, got hold of like a vinyl printer, got all the software, this and that, whatever. And then I used to make custom clothing for my friends. So most of them were like just young guys that wanted their nicknames on their tops or whatever and whatnot. And then eventually I started coming up with my own designs, putting them on t-shirts. And I just happened to work in a clothing store, like a kind of like an independent, but it used to sell like UK streetwear brands and New Era caps and like and trainers. But what they used to do was they used to do a lot of custom stuff. So they do, I don't know if you remember this trend, but like graffiti on hats or trainers or diamantes on your Nike Air Ones. That's the store that used to do all that. It was called Global Sports. I don't know if you knew it, but it was in Shepherd's Bush. And used to work there. So I managed to start selling my clothes in there. And
At 15?
no, that was before 15. 15 was when I set up the company. I was doing that from about 13 years old. And even in school, just like selling sweets, as I think a lot of guys used to do. Used to sell sweets and cookies and stuff in school. And then DVDs, learned how to like DVD rewrites.
Yeah.
I used to go to the markets on Sundays, buy all the latest albums and movies, and then just reprint them and sell them in school. And yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like you just found, when you saw something, you found a way to make money from it.
Yeah, but it was one thing that my dad actually said to me was that there was a situation where I basically got cheated out of a business opportunity when I was doing the clothing stuff. And he said, one thing I realized about you is it's not you don't care about the money, you care about the creativity. It's being able to make something interest you more than actually getting money. For me, money's always been like validation. So if I'm making a lot of money, it's because what I've made is working, not because I'm trying to make money.
So you're not driven by money. So is it more like you see a gap in the market where you could, as a young Matthew, you could see a way that you could help your friends to get what they needed?
No. I think I just found something I liked, and that's just how it ended up happening. A lot of the time, I'm driven by what catches my interest, or I'd like to say passion, but usually passion comes later, because I think you might just see something that, oh, that's interesting, and then I'll look into it, and then after a while, you might realize that you really like that, or sometimes it might be a little divergence, or you might go here or there. Like for instance, I stopped doing the vinyl printing stuff. I started going into screen prints later down the line, and then the designing side of it became more interesting to me than actually making t-shirts. It was like coming up with designs was more creatively fun, but that was a process. I don't think I learned that in straight away. But for me, it's just having fun with stuff. A lot of the time, it's finding something that you enjoy doing. You don't always need to turn it into a business. Sometimes you can just have something that you like. But a lot of the time, if you are making something, you want to put it out to the world. And when you do, that's when the potential, unless you're just giving it away for free. Yeah. Like content. I love making content. I've started making money from brands paying me, but I don't sell my content. Do you know what I mean? I just put it out there. And
it's interesting. So how would you like differentiate between a hobby and then making it into a business?
It's probably the financial side of it, essentially. And I think that's the interesting thing about content, because it hasn't. I'm still doing the exact same thing. The only difference is brands might pay me for affiliation, but I'm not changing the content I'm making. If that makes sense. But yeah, there are some things you just want to keep to yourself. You just want to have fun. So for instance, like I really like Amapiano music. And I've decided I'm not going to do any Amapiano events because I want that to just be for me.
You can switch off there.
That's my enjoyment. I'm not starting an Amapiano brand. That's just me going out, having fun. Yeah.
It's good that you recognize that, because I think sometimes, like as humans, we can just, like if we enjoy something, we're like, okay, how can I monetize that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it takes a discipline almost to be like, actually, no, let me just keep this, because sometimes, like you say, when it becomes making money, then sometimes that almost sucks the joy out of it as well, But like, how did, obviously, you've got these businesses when you're 15 years old. Like, what did you want to do when you were like that age? Like, did you have like
basketball? I used to play
basketball. Okay.
Yeah, that was my life. So I think I found basketball around 12. The same store I mentioned. So I used to go in there to buy trainers, and the manager kept on saying to my mom, "Get him to play basketball." And I was like, "No, I play football." Came back, "No, I play rugby." Come back, "No, I like swimming." Like these are all the things I did from maybe like 9 till about 12, 13. And then eventually, I was like, okay, cool, I'll come to one of these basketball things. And within 6 months, I was playing for London. Within like 2 years, I was playing for England. And I was tall. Oh, sorry. So like, I'm tall now. Yeah. But I was 6 foot at 11. I've barely grown since. So I was, at that age, I was massive. I towered over everyone else. And then just stopped growing. Hit to 6'3", which is nice. But I mean, I thought I was going to be 6'7" easily. My oldest brother was 6'7", so I thought I was going to grow to that height. And I just love playing basketball. I spent like close to 20 hours a week playing ball when I was in my teens. Which was nice. Got to travel a little bit, go to the States, do some camps, blah, 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 play for different teams, won national championships, all that other kind of stuff. But got an injury. This isn't what stopped me, but I think this mentally kind of made me just I got 2 metal plates and 12 pins in my right arm. So I got 2 massive scars, one here, one there from the surgery. And after that, it just wasn't the same. And I kind of realized that if I wasn't in the States by now, it wasn't going to happen. And
what age were you then?
About 19, 20. So going into uni, and it was just like, if you're not playing in America in like a D1, D2 school, you're not going to go anywhere that that really matters. No offense to those that play European and this and that or whatever, but it's the same as I'm sure for people that kick football. They want the Prem, they want Champions League. They're not focused on
League Two.
Not that anything's wrong with that, but your goal is the top. Do you know what I mean? So
obviously you've been driven from young, so if you realize at that point in time that you're not going to get to all the way to the top, so it's like, let me change my course.
Yeah, and plus, like I said, it was a hobby that I was pushing to make into a career. Whereas now it's just a hobby. I can just enjoy it. Like now, I just rent out a court and go and play by myself. Like, so I don't like playing. I'm not a fan of playing outdoor, so I'll rent an indoor court and just shoot around. It's just me. It's not even a competitive thing. I don't need to play with other people. I just like playing basketball.
And what about like your parents? Did they facilitate, like support that, or did they kind of want you to go down the more academic route?
Yeah, so my dad's like they're very opposite in the sense that my dad's one of those free-spirited, life, do what you want and life will teach you lessons, and like he's like, go make mistakes. And my mom's like, don't make mistakes, don't learn the hard way, do it the right way. I can teach you, listen to me. That so you got two sides of it. So whenever I wanted to go do whatever I wanted, I go to my dad's, and then at home, mom was always like, do this, do that, gotta get to this school, gotta go to university, gotta to whatever. And she's gradually come around to seeing, I think with a lot of parents, seeing like most of the people I know nowadays don't have jobs that even really existed in their time. Like we're doing a podcast right now. Well, like 10 years ago, what's a podcast? You know what I mean? So I make content. I do events for it. These are all things that like, my mom was like, what do you mean you throw parties? Like, do you know? But she's seen it. And obviously I've been blessed enough for some of my businesses to do really, really well. So she's seen that I understand what I'm doing. So even when I start new things, she's like my number one support now. Do you know what I mean? But I think she still has that sense of like, she had the same job for 45 years. Like she moved up and down within the business, but she literally worked for NatWest for 45 years, from a bank clerk to a investment banker and manager. So it's that weird side of it. But yeah, they've always supported me, but my mom's always kind of pushed me towards like, get a job, this, that, whatever. These times I've never had a normal job, ever.
Yeah, mad.
Ever.
Yeah. So we're at uni now, and that's when you've met Taser. Did you go uni together?
Nah, so we met, like I said, the clothing line thing, I was about 16, so maybe 15, 16 years old, I think we met. But that was like brief, but that was like our introduction to one another. Then at uni, we didn't go to the same uni, but we both started going to events. So I think that's when, at uni, that's where I got introduced to events, because I think I'd been to a couple like under 18 parties and stuff like that. But at uni, that's when you get, you find out about stuff like, so ACS, the African Caribbean Society. So we had like comedy shows and live music stuff. And I loved that. Like so many people think about me as someone that threw parties, but all the events that I started out with were live music, comedy, poetry. My first event was a poetry slam, 14 poets. And then I didn't touch club nights or anything like that for years. And that side of stuff has always been really close to my heart. Like finding singers, finding up and coming artists. Do you know Jamal Edwards from SBTV?
Yeah.
That was one of my closest friends. Obviously RIP. So we spent a lot of time just like looking for talent and trying to find singers and obviously rappers and stuff like that. But that, I just loved it. I still love it. I still love seeing new talent come up, and especially people that kind of do something different. So yeah,
so what made you pivot away from doing something you love so much?
Oh no, I still do that.
Oh, you still do that?
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize it. The difference is the events that I do, like parties, are for essentially our crowd. My live music events, the average age is like 40, 45, which obviously now I'm in my 30s doesn't sound as weird. But when I was 18 years old, I was organizing because I really like singer-songwriter stuff. So I started I had multiple events, but the biggest one that's still around now is called a Night Of.
Yeah,
so
I think I've seen that one actually.
Yeah, so it's easiest way to think about it is like tribute bands. So we create bands that either tribute artists, genres, or eras. So we'll have like a night of Amy Winehouse, which was the first one, a night of Luther, a night of Whitney, a night of neo soul, a night of reggae.
Were you doing that in Camden, right?
Yeah, Jazz Cafe. I've been in Jazz Cafe for like 8-9 years, doing events there. So that still happens. The comedy stuff still happens. I've got a big comedy show at Indigo in December. I used to do them a lot more regularly, I would say, but where R&B's so full on now, I just like to do them occasionally here and there, keep the brand alive. Yeah, but it's not the same. And also, one thing I will say about like just the whole entertainment industry, it's a lot harder to work with up and coming talent, because before, like when we're starting out, by the time people got a buzz from real life. Like you would hear about someone that you've seen at shows or you've seen out and about, and there used to be lots of other events like this. So you'd go to gigs or you'd hear about these up and coming artists, but the only way that they could reach new fans was by gigging. I don't know if you know what Ed Sheeran was coming up. He broke the Guinness Book of Record for like the most amount of gigs in a year. Like he did like 340 gigs in 1 year. So that was how you got known. Whereas now it's all on socials, which is mad because it means that you actually build a fan base before you probably even perform live. So you've got people with thousands and thousands of followers that have music that's out there, but they probably haven't performed or they haven't performed. Whereas the good thing about how it used to be was you would learn how to perform, you'd build stage presence, do you know what I mean? Anything, the more you do it, the better you get. So, and now, up and coming artists, they have demand, they have fans, so they charge more. They can charge. They can put on their own headline show without ever having to step on someone else's stage. So it makes it a lot harder to work with them, which makes it a lot harder to work with live music stuff, which is why I got into the band route. So you are booking a singer, but they're not performing their songs. You're giving them a repertoire from an artist. They have to learn that music. You put a band together, whether it's a 5-piece, 6-piece, 7-piece, 10-piece, whether you want BVs or drums or bongos or whatever it is, you put the show together, and yeah.
That's actually really interesting. But now you've said it out loud, it makes sense. But I just wouldn't have thought about it like that, you know?
Yeah, no, that's I remember seeing that, because that's one of the I think I can't quite remember how you and me connected or whenever like we connected, but I do remember, you know,
it might have been Junction when I used to do the bookings there.
No, it was before that. I'm sure it was before that. Yeah, okay. But that's something I want to get into as well. But I noticed that this guy isn't just doing, you know, like club nights. Like there's more to him and stuff. And then I mean, we can go to Junction, or do you want to go through lockdown? Because there's a lot, you know. Okay, let's talk about. So you got involved with a venue in London, right?
Yes. So I think Junction was the first venue I did it with. So obviously I ran a brand called Faded. That's, you mentioned Taser. So actually I will backtrack because I didn't actually answer your question. So we used to go to events, like there used to be an event called Sunday Show. I don't know if you ever heard of it or went to it, but it was similar to what I mentioned, like singers, sometimes poetry, but it used to be a lot of rappers, a lot of comedians, and a lot of singers, and then they do like game shows and stuff. So
I think Napa was involved.
Napa was out here. He's actually in Saudi at the moment. But, so Napa and a guy called Marvin Harrison, who's really well known on podcasts now. I don't know if you know. He's a big podcaster now. But they ran Sunday Show, and Taser was basically Napa's junior, and I was basically Marvin's junior. So that's how we built our relationship, because we were both at Sunday Show like almost every week. Then I started working there, running Sunday Show for them, working for free. This is how you know it's passion and interest. Like I worked for free for like a year. Then I was like, yo, can I get some money? He was like, we'll give you £20 a week. £20!
How old were you then? 15? Did you?
Nah, I was about 18. Yeah, I was like, but different times. And like I said, that experience was invaluable to me, because what happened was I think I made my own first event a little before that. The first one went well, second one went well, third one kind of seeing a drop off, fourth one even quieter. I kind of put it to bed for a bit. I don't know how many I did, maybe about 5 or 6, but I put it to bed and I was like, I know how to put on an event, but I don't know how to promote. They're two different things.
Yeah.
I was having this conversation yesterday with someone on the yacht, and knowing how to put on, you can make the greatest event, but if no one's there to see it, what does it matter? Do you know what I mean? So you need to know how to market, how to reach people, how to connect with people, how to make something that people want to go to and be a part of. And if you're able to throw a great event, that's good too. But a lot of the time, the atmosphere and the vibe is really what people latch onto. It's quite interesting. But
sorry, how have you learned how to convey the vibe that you bring at a party or an event, whether it's like a comedy event or an R&B event? It's a different vibe. So how have you learned how to convey that message on Instagram or anywhere that you're promoting it?
Even like this, content is the key for these things. It's if you're able to show, I mean, with comedy, you can literally just put a clip. Like it's one thing. Like Axel is a comedian I work with more than anyone. Like obviously, that's another thing. But managing Axel is another leg of what I've done. But I'm always telling him, I'm like, bro, you can just put clips. He likes rave style marketing, but then there's no actual comedy in the video.
Yeah.
If you're selling comedy, give them comedy. Do you
Mm.
know what I mean? So that makes it very easy. And with parties, it's the same. Like even with R&B and Soul Jams, if you look at it, I always give away gems. But if you look at it, we have live audio in our clips. So it's not, a lot of promoters will create a fancy looking video, but it's not the authentic, this is what you're getting. We post, most of our reels that do well are just direct clips, straight from camera, no edits, one shot. This is what happens at the event. This is someone singing their heart out in the moment. The live audio, you can hear the DJ connecting everyone, getting them to sing. You can hear it's just a raw clip.
It's actually a really good idea because
just a raw clip.
most of the time most people put together a load of clips and then throw whatever song's trending at the time over the top.
Exactly. But the thing is, if your event isn't popping, you can take the best clips and make it look popping.
Yeah.
But to be able to actually just be like, this is literally 15 seconds off the party and it looks amazing, it's because it is.
Yeah.
You're getting an actual insight into what it's like.
Yeah, but the irony is you need to have an amazing party to be able to do that. So you need to have it first, and you can't, if it's your first event, you don't have any content. You need to get creative and come up with concepts and ways to market it, to market something that doesn't exist yet. Once you have something that exists, then how you get content, how you utilize it is then very important.
You're coming up with new ideas, whether it's events or any other types of businesses. So I guess you have to get creative with how you're going to market them.
Yeah, but you can just take it from another industry. Like you can take how people sell cars and just implement it to selling CDs. Or, I mean, there's a very, I don't know.
100%. But I don't think that you realize how passively you're saying it, and lots of people just don't think like you. They wouldn't think to look at how people sell cars and say, I can somehow implement a similar marketing strategy in my business selling cream or doing events or whatever. A lot of people don't think like that. So I think give yourself recognition for having a blessed creative mind like that, because lots of people are struggling in that area.
And circling back, that's where I say that working with Napa and Marvin, even working for free, I learned a lot of the things that they had to learn the hard way through them, which is a great reason to have a mentor or whatever, because you can pick up things. Even like, I was saying this on another podcast the other day, listening to this, we're giving away gems. We're telling people stuff that we've had to work for, whereas you can just pick it up and apply it to whatever you're doing straight away. And same goes for reading. Like there's lots of business books or just other people's stories where you can pick up. Even if you don't want to read, you can just watch stuff nowadays. But there's so much information out there, and it's like, I'm not the first person to say this. Tons of people have said it, and I heard it from someone else. It's not an idea I had myself. It's just something that I've seen that's worked. And once you kind of see it, you start looking for it. Like when I travel, when I go to when I was in Bali and Thailand, for example, you can look for things that are like Dubai is an amazing place. Dubai has everything. So you can say, what is in Dubai that isn't in Bali that works really well, that would? And then you can just go to Bali and create a thing that already exists here. That's proven it will work. Obviously, you might need to wait for the market to grow to meet it, because some things it might not work straight away. Do you remember Ask Jeeves? Yeah, and then Google came along. Do you know what I mean? So it's not always being first. Sometimes it's having the right timing or putting it in the right way. But you know that it can work. So now it's just your focus on, especially if you know something will work or you believe it will work, now you just got to figure out the right way to get it out there, and eventually it will grow.
I think Google's an example as well. You know, sometimes people can spend so long. Obviously, you got a brand like R&B Slow Jam, it's on the tin, right? But sometimes in other aspects, other industries, people can spend so long thinking of a brand name. But I always tell people, like, Google wasn't a name before, and now everyone's like, Google it. So it's like, it doesn't really matter. You can call it a chassor. And as long as you market it right, you'll, you know.
I mean, everyone's like, when it comes to my name anyway, so just have to own it.
Yeah, there's so much stuff like you see picking the right colors for your logo, and red gives warmth, and green means natural, and all these things. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there is subliminal messaging in these things, and they have impacts, but people get paid hundreds of thousands to do things that sometimes don't really make a difference. Yeah.
So you, okay, I'm trying to. It's a timeline, but I'm trying to like stick to it. But so you met Taser. You knew how to organize an event, but you didn't know how to market it. So there was a process where you developed those skills, and then Faded was born.
Yep.
And talk us through the impact that Faded had I guess.
And what Faded is for
Yeah.
those that don't know.
Oh, Faded was a events brand. I guess it used to be a club night brand, but then we outgrew just club nights. We started doing brunches, day parties, etc. But it was a party brand that me and Taser built, or started really. And then it just grew naturally, if I'm completely honest. Just one thing led to another. We threw one party, then threw another party, then a few more. And it just slowly grew. I think madly. I think this is actually nuts when I think about it. But for our 1 year anniversary, we did Ministry of Sound. I sold like 1,400 tickets on a Tuesday, which is nuts. But yeah, so it just picked up momentum organically. And I think it took us a while before we realized where we could take it. So I don't think we had the ambition. Like I said, you can look at something and be like, I want this to be there, to go there or to be that. And we didn't have that. We were just like, we just run a party to have fun with our friends. And we felt like there wasn't quite a space that we wanted. Like we used to go out and enjoy ourselves, but it was like, they're not playing this kind of music. Like back then it was trap. You couldn't hear trap when you were going out. So we wanted to throw a party where you could hear trap music. So that was like Faded's main USP. And even like sometimes playing grime and stuff like that. I think we had like Flirty D at the first one, Come Down and Spit or something like that. But I remember we did Flirter and D double once as well. There's like, that probably mean nothing to some people, that would mean something. But yeah, they just, one thing led to another. And yeah, man, it just grew and grew and grew to the point where we were throwing multi-thousand capacity parties, taking it to Amsterdam. We've been out here in Dubai, Barcelona, France. We've done, Croatia. We've partnered with Fresh Island Festival, partnered with festivals in the Netherlands.
Where's been your favorite place to throw a party so far?
Do you know what? Fresh Island Festival is probably still the best experiences I've had doing events. I've had so many, like the first time, now we sell out Coco like it's nothing now with Army and Slow Jams, but I sold out Coco for a night of Amy. I can't remember, maybe like 2014 or something. Nah, it couldn't have been that long ago, but a while ago. And that felt so big to me. Yeah. That just felt astronomical. Like now, I don't know when this comes out, but we're doing Wembley Arena soon. Like that's
mad.
Arena.
Yeah.
Arena. And the maddest thing is we're not worried about it, but it's like we're doing it because we believe we can.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's the capacity for Wembley Arena?
It's 10, but we're doing standing, so 6, because what we've learned is with R&B, it's a party. We tried to do, when we did Roundhouse, we sold the seats and it just, people didn't enjoy it. Even though they knew they bought a seated ticket, they wanted to be downstairs. So it's like, we're just not going to do that. We're going to focus on venues that have standing balconies or whatever, but the whole seat side of it. Because we were pushing towards making R&B a show. And this is what I mean by sometimes you just have to learn, you have to see what people want. You can't always dictate what you want it to be.
Yeah.
You should try, because it's your experience and you need to, sometimes the consumer doesn't know what they want. And you kind of need to tell them, this is it. And then you find your audience that appreciate that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Have you had any like ideas that you and any of your business partners have been like, yeah, this is going to be lit, and then you do it and it's like flopped?
Yeah, I wanted to do I still believe this will be a sick idea because I know it will work. Again, it's finding the community that would appreciate. I think you can sell anything. You just got to find the person that wants to buy it. Yeah, like for real. But obviously, you want something that's mass marketable. If you want, well, not necessarily. But I wanted to throw a pillow fight, giant pillow fight party, which I think will be lit.
Yeah, with the feathers there.
Yeah, and just going all it'll just be fun. Everyone dressed. I think I called it pajama drama because everyone's dressed in pajamas, pillow fighting. You still got music. You've got like competitions. You've got 2-on-2s. You've got like a boxing ring version of it, and it's just like you can just have fun with it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's very hard to sell that until you've had it. If I have one and then I capture it well and put it out there, I'm sure it will go like crazy. Being able to sell someone that initial first concept without any content to be like, this is what you're buying into. It makes it harder. But yeah, that one was something that we just put to bed. It just wasn't selling well enough. Don't get me wrong, the people that did buy tickets were super up for it. But you pick up, the weird thing about that is because you need to use a big venue because you need to like almost set up stages. So even though you use like an 800 capacity venue, you might only fit 400 people in there. But because of the cost of hiring an 800 capacity venue, you need to sell the tickets at a certain price, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So it's like brunches. Like brunches, luckily, they happen at a time where most venues aren't making money, so they'll give you better deals.
Yeah.
But for instance, anywhere that holds 800 standing can only hold like 250, 300 seated. So if the higher cost is the same, you need to make more per person to have something where it's 300 people. But it's a similar thing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all learnings. It's like
Yeah.
every event, you're learning something new because you're trying to market it differently.
It's not events, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's absolutely everything. But that's life. But I think it's the perspective of looking at it that way. Like me and Taser always say, like we're not done making mistakes. We're gonna make more mistakes. There's gonna be more flops. There's things that are gonna go wrong. But you just gotta learn. You gotta realize them. You gotta look at them. You gotta figure out how can this be prevented. Sometimes they can't be. You know. Sometimes I can't remember what it was. I had something the other day, and I was just like, if I was given the same scenario, based on what I know to be like, I would have done the exact same thing. Like I said, I can't, even though the outcome was bad, I can't fault my decision-making process because,
It's part of what takes you to where you're going next, right?
Yeah.
And so that's obviously Matthew, I guess you could say, event organizer. With Junction House, which is a venue in London, you took on a different role there, right?
Yeah, so I started doing events there, myself just doing Faded there. And then I think the first step was, I can't remember if I mentioned it or what. I think they came to me and said, Matt, you know someone that could build a website? And I was like, I can build a website. And they were like, could you build us a website? So I built them a website. But then I suggested other things. So I was like, you should set up a new booking system so you can sell tickets yourself as the venue. That way you can list all the events. So even though you're working with promoters, everyone can give you an allocation of tickets, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, they were really happy with the website. And I think that just kind of made them think, oh, Matt's more than a promoter. And then they were working with someone else who was like the booker for the venue who essentially puts all the events on. And then they parted ways. And then they asked me to come in for a meeting. And I felt like they were going to ask something along those lines. And yeah, they asked me to be the booker for the venue. So I was just like, okay, cool. So I negotiated a deal. And I did that for like 4.5 years. Like didn't feel like it was that long. And then, well, I don't know if you want to talk. No, the booking thing, that's done. So basically I used to work with other promoters, put nights on in the venue, and then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then during lockdown, they came to me and said, Matt, you know the venue inside out, your family, would you be interested in taking over the venue itself?
Oh, wow.
And with Taser. And was like, that's an opportunity you only get once in a while. Like, why not? So then we did that. I mean, it went belly up. Like, it was amazing. It was one of the best experiences of my life. It was the hardest experience of my life. We completely refurbished and like restructured the venue within 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yeah, because we needed to open the day that everything opened again. This was still when like clubs weren't allowed at this point. But we had 6 weeks until like D-Day, as it were. And we decided to completely refurbish it, like repolish the floors, repaint all the walls, reinstall, like change the sound systems, put in new AC, everything. Like put a whole new menu in, teach a whole new team of bar staff. So much stuff. And it was amazing because these were all things I'd never done before. Like, so this is when you realize that maybe you're not only just good at events, like there's other things. You just got to put your mind to something different, and it works out. And it was amazing. Like we opened, we had the most successful nights the venue had ever had in our first 2 weeks. Like we made more at the bar in 2 weeks than like the most that ever made in one night. We had beaten that within 2 weeks of opening from the years that they've been open before that.
That's an achievement.
Yeah.
But the main thing was that the venue was 2 floors and they'd only ever really utilized one. All they did was parties downstairs. They never used upstairs. Whereas we were like, upstairs should be used as a bar, just like people go to bars all the time. So that was our main focus. Like refurb upstairs, make it a bar. People can come and do shisha, chill, snacks, this, that, whatever. Yeah. So because we had basically expanded the venue, we were making twice as much revenue as they ever were. And then on top of that, because I was already the booking guy, I used to get like sip and paint things in during the day. So they were used to having maybe 2 events a weekend, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. We were having like 5. So we're having 2 sip and paint sessions on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, a private birthday party upstairs, a club night downstairs. You know what I mean?
Loads going on.
Yeah, we're doing video shoot hire in the space. I was just like, this isn't just a club. This could be so many more things. People can do whatever they want here. So It was good, but then, we just had a bad stroke of luck. There was a fight downstairs. One thing led to another. We were able to fight it. The venue stayed open and stuff like that. But then the actual, I don't know if you know how commercial property works, but you have the landlord who kind of owns it, and then they lease it to whoever runs the business. The landlord said that they didn't want to risk potentially losing part of not the license, but part of the license. So what would have been likely is it had a 3 a.m. license. There was another incident. Police would probably reduce it to a 1 a.m. license. Okay. And the value on being able to sell the property from a 3 a.m. license to a 1 a.m. license is humongous, like hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
It's like 100. That's like the value to, because now it's not even feasible as a club. Like it needs to be just a bar or whatever or whatnot. So they decided to try and sell it instead. So we never reopened, which was traumatic, but a massive learning curve.
Yeah. I remember actually I remember you doing a post on, even before that, I remember you hitting me up about, like going through the whole procedure of trying to appeal it and stuff. But then I remember one thing that always stuck with me was the post you did on social media. And then I thought that was good because, you never really see men,
It wasn't intentional.
Yeah. I think it was a moment where because you never really see men become vulnerable on social media and, just show that they're upset that something's happened, And I think that was the moment when I was like, this guy's onto something because, I see that side of you. And then how did you feel like, what was the responses to you, putting yourself
a lot of
out
people
like
mentioned,
that?
yeah, it was weird because, obviously it's weird now because like I'm an influencer or content creator, but back then it had like 4,000 followers and stuff. But you forget that 4,000 followers doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 4,000
a lot of people.
Like if you have 4,000 people in a room, that's a lot. So when I was just going out and about, and it's weird because so many people see stuff, but it probably isn't like a comment that matches it. Some days, I just saw their post. Oh, they looks nice, they're on holiday. But with that, it kind of provoked something. So when I'd just be out, people would be like, I saw your post the other day. Like, yeah, I hope you're doing well, or people checking in. Basically, for context, I needed to address what had happened. So I decided to make a video about it, and I was just filming. And mid-video, I think it kind of hit me what had happened. And you just saw the emotion kind of come. And I was like holding back tears. And I was just like, do I post this? And I was just like, but it's real. Let me just put it out there. Like, it's probably just going to happen again if I try. And I put it out there. And I don't know, there wasn't that much thought that went into it, but it was just the truth. But yeah, a lot of people said like it was just nice to see a man be vulnerable on camera and just kind of be real. Some of the men were like, "Not you crying on camera, but what are you doing?" You know what I mean? It's like Taser still makes jokes here, but sometimes you just gotta be honest. That's what one thing I say when I'm making content is I always want to keep it real because I feel like so much of social media is fake.
Yeah.
So it's just like I always want there to be it. So don't get me wrong, my posts are my posts, but especially on my stories, I'm just like, yeah, this happened today or that happened or whatever. Like today, I was filming, blah, 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 blah. I walked into a T-bar. Oh my, tripped, phone dropped, my leg, the bruise I have right now. Luckily I didn't drop. Luckily, because it's a T-bar, it kind of moved with me, but happens, man. It's got to be real, like, cause
yeah,
100%. I didn't get it on camera because I was filming like this, but yeah. Well, I had that other one. I was filming myself in lockdown when I had a home gym. I was filming myself. Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
The gym fell.
Yeah.
I bought like when everything locked down, I tried to buy any gym equipment I can get my hands on, and I was trying to be Mr. Creative again. I couldn't get a what's it called?
Like
bench press?
Like the machine.
No, the
rack.
The rack. I couldn't get a rack. So I thought, okay, what can load this weight? And I bought like, I can't remember what it was. That's it. Like, it's to cut wood on. So you have like stands that you put wood on or like to cut a door on, but they're like, they can take up to like 200 kg or something because it's for like wood. So I got those on either side and they are sturdy. Funny enough, in the video, it was the bench that broke, not that. But it's just that this makeshift gym equipment. I bought this bench and one of the holes wasn't, like it had been used too much. And I'm there doing decline and incline and it just drops into decline while I've got the bar here. And yeah, that clip went viral because it nearly died.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, still posted it.
I just want to bring it back to you being vulnerable on camera. Not being vulnerable on camera, but actually then now you've put it out there and you're actually going through something. How did you actually, or what did you do to help yourself get through this transitional period? Because from the sounds of things, having that club and what you and Taser had done, that's some of your greatest achievements. So how did you come back from that?
Took a while, if I'm honest. I didn't go therapy or anything. I'd say going gym is therapy for me. I know that it's not actual therapy, but for me, going gym has always been more mental than physical. Like I'm very much I always say to people, try and find what you like in the gym. If it's the social aspect, then cool. But for me, it's me on my ones, just music or whatever it is, and I just zone out. It's not even when I think, it's when I don't think. It's just, I'm just clear. Like literally my mind is running all day long. But when I'm in the gym, I'm just zoned out. So I think training helped. But I became a closed version of myself for a while, if I'm completely honest. I was just a little bit quieter. I noticed like I stopped posting on my story. I felt like I didn't want to share as much. I think there was a sense of embarrassment because it was such a public failure at the same time. And do you know what was annoying? It was annoying, but it's motivating. But in the moment, it was annoying. So many people were like, yeah, you're going to bounce back, or don't worry, you're going to start something new. And I'm like, how do you know that? I was like, I feel so defeated right now. There's nothing, like, there was very little energy left. And I think at the same time, the police tried to ban Faded. Literally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had
as a connection to that.
Yeah, as a connection to the incident. So it's like, I almost lost both my businesses in one fell swoop. And literally, not something that I actually did. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot easier. I can't remember what it was. I made a mistake the other day and I was like, that was on me. Like, it's a lot easier as how I am. If I know it's my mistake, I can kind of swallow it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Whereas if something that I have no control over just goes out my way, it's just like.
It's interesting that you labelled it as a failure, because I was going to say to you, it wasn't your fault. So how is it that it's I don't see it as your failure because it's not your fault.
It affects you. If it affects you, then it's definitely your failure. Like, if you lose 100K, that's a failure. Whether you're the reason you lost 100K or not, it's still you got to take that L.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't cause that L, but it's definitely still
an L to carry.
still on your side. Yeah.
So you closed in, you went into yourself, going to the gym to help yourself, but like all of these people saying you're gonna bounce back, even though it's annoying. Like, here you are, you've bounced back.
Yeah.
So like, for people, there's gonna be other people that go through similar things. Do you have any tips or things that you can say that helped you to actually start bouncing back?
So yeah, I've mentioned one already. It's that you're gonna have L's. Like, you're gonna make failure. Like, I'm probably gonna have as big a failure as that in the next few years, or hopefully not. But I mean, it's inevitable. It's part of life. And if I'm honest, that's really what builds the character. Like, knowing that I've done that, gone through it, and come out the other end is what will make it easier to do it next time, and the next time, and the next time. And I think it allows, if you perceive it this way, it allows you to still take risks. Because a lot of people might just be like, I've got to be so risk averse now. I can't risk it. Like, but whereas for me, it's just like, don't let it change who you are. Don't let it stop your creativity. Don't let it stop you taking risks, because some are going to pay off and some aren't. And some are going to hurt. Some are going to be amazing. Like, R&B's in 20 cities. Yeah. That's nuts.
That's crazy.
In 3 years, 20 cities. I can't even name them all. I'll forget. I've been in Dublin, Copenhagen, Sweden, and Dubai this week.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That
Nuts.
is mad.
That's crazy.
And it's sold out events everywhere as well.
Yeah, and like, I'm knackered. I'm tired. I'm 24/7 doing something. And honestly, all I want to do is just chill sometimes. But I keep on telling myself, like, 18-year-old you would never believe you're doing this now. So you have to still just go and do it, enjoy it, try and make the most of it. And like, I'm going from here to my event. Literally, in Crocs. But yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, you talk about the setback that you had in lockdown. I also kind of remember at one point you created a card game.
Yes.
Right. And so for me, I'm trying to remember the timeline. You can obviously correct it, but like, that came after Junction House, right? Or
Nah, I think that came before
was it before?
Junction. Yeah, because Junction was right at the end of lockdown.
Okay.
Because remember that we reopened.
Yeah.
So Bottoms Up, which was the card game, it's a drinking game, which I created. It was random. Like, honestly, it just kind of not all came to me at once, but I think I said to myself, I wanted to create a game. You know how some people are like, one day I want to write a book.
Yeah.
I had this weird thing that, like, this will be my book. I know that sounds weird, but it's like,
it's something different.
Yeah, but it's like this. The thing about writing a book, which is sick, is for the most part, it lives on. Like, a lot of things, like all my events, they come and they go. So I create something, I put a lot of time and effort into something, and the second it's done, it is done. There's no point worrying about what happened last week. Like, everyone's excited for today's event, but tomorrow they'll enjoy reposts and the after movie and whatever, but you can only look forward to the next one. No one's really reliving this one. Whereas with a book, it's like, it's still there. If you liked it, you can recommend someone else to read it. Someone can find it later down the line, and it kind of just exists. And that's kind of what the game was for me. I don't really know. I just randomly was like, I want to make a game. And then I did. I know it sounds weird. I was just like, I did. And I started writing down ideas. And I honestly was so inspired and motivated. I had insomnia. I could not sleep. Yeah, I worked for like 2 weeks straight. I probably had like maximum 3 hours sleep. Like I had clinical exhaustion. I remember we threw, I'm just being honest here, me and Taser threw an illegal party during lockdown. Rented some Knightsbridge mansion and threw this illegal party, and I slept completely through it because I just hadn't slept for like 2 weeks. Missed the whole thing. It's literally just conked out and missed the whole party. But I made the game.
How did you come up with the concept of the game? Like, for those that don't know.
It felt like a blur, probably because I wasn't sleeping. But I started with like, was it Never would I, what's it called? Never have I ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like, that was the first idea. I was like, okay, could I turn Never Have I Ever into a card game? And then I started down that line, and then I started adding different things. So it's moved away from that. Like, there's other aspects to it, but the game goes from, so it'd be like drink if you've ever done this, or drink if you haven't, or whatever. But then you also have stuff like take turns naming characters from Friends. The first person to mess up must drink, etc. Or you had stuff like the last person to touch something green must drink, for example, right? Yeah, so there was all different variations of, these are like the types of cards, if that kind of makes sense. So that it varied, it moved away from the Never Have I Ever thing. But and then I had to like think about how it worked logistically, because I'd made the game, and then I was like, you can't win this. Like, it's not actually a game. It's a series of cards, because funny enough, one of my friends made conversation cards, so which is way more like political and stuff. It's like, is there ever a time where capital punishment is justified? And then you discuss. Like, there's no points or whatever. It's just have a conversation about it. But it was way more deep and intense. But I wanted the conversation element, and that's what I think I did so well. So you don't realize it, but if you've ever played the game, the big thing about it is you just start talking. Because when you realize that someone has done that thing, you don't just move on to the next card. You're like, yo.
I mean, we've Never Have I Ever as well. I'm like,
yeah,
storytelling.
It becomes a conversation. So that's like the secret of the game. It's more about getting to know people, whoever you're playing with, than anything else, because it's so random that you're gonna talk about things that would realistically never really come up in a genuine conversation. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and I tried to find things that separate people. Yeah. So I'm trying to remember what it's called now, but what's it called when you sleep paralysis? So drink if you've ever had sleep paralysis. And I've found that a few people do. I've never had it. But then I'm like, what's that like? And then you start asking, and do you know what I mean? It sparks. Or drink if you've ever had a black eye. And then someone, like that little person in the corner is like, what? Who punched you in the like, you know what I mean? It starts conversation. So yeah, I had so much fun making it, coming up with different ideas, testing it out. Because what I'd do is, remember, this is all in lockdown. So what I would do is I would offer people, I think it was free alcohol or something like that. I basically said, if anyone's got any like house, because people used to have house, I don't know if they're illegal or not, but people were having house parties, you couldn't have like events. So if anyone's got any house parties coming up, I'll provide all the alcohol if you let me watch you play the game. So I would basically, sometimes I'll partake, but for most part, I just wanted to, I didn't want to, it's called bias it by being in the game and suggesting it. I just wanted to see how it works. Do people understand it? Okay, they don't quite get it. I need to make the instructions clearer. They're misinterpreting certain things. I need to change that. Some cards that might seem amazing when I think of them, they don't really go down as well. Or it needs to be worded in a way that everyone understands, and this and that, or whatever. And it was just really fun to do, because like I said, it was something different to what I'd done before.
Where can people buy this game? Amazon.
I think, yeah, it's on Amazon in UAE, in US, in America, and in the UK. I kind of, basically what happened was, it went really well. Like, I think I sold I launched it just before Black Friday, so about November. And I sold like 4,000 units by Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah. Like
That's really good.
Yeah, it was nuts. And bear in mind, I couldn't do events at this point. So like it became my main income out of nowhere. It was nuts. In fact, I was living out here.
Yeah.
I came out to Dubai with Taze. We came out for New Year's Eve and just decided to stay. We flew back to get more stuff and then booked until Ramadan started and just stayed out here. And got it listed in UAE, got it listed in the States. But when I did a Kickstarter to launch it, and it just went off. Like I hit my target in 24 hours. I had a month to go, and then people were buying it from all over the world. Like it sold in like 27 countries. It was crazy. I was going to the post office every day with like IKEA bags full of games. Like it was nuts.
You were sending them yourself.
Yeah.
So all these 4,000
Then I
sales.
started putting it on Amazon. Yeah.
Because I remember when you came to Dubai, you bought some out here as well, right?
It was nuts. Yeah, it was really fun. But basically what happened was, and this is really annoying because at first it worked, and about 6 months in, it got picked up by Amazon that it got picked up as encouraging irresponsible drinking, which it does. And the reason why it does is because the control of what you drink is taken out. You're drinking because the card tells you to, not because you're choosing to. So I hear it. So basically what I need to do is rebrand the game to do a forfeit, not drink. But I ordered like 5,000 more units. So I need to get through all that. And once events opened up again, I just they still sell. I sell like a game or so every day, which is lovely, but it's still very small in comparison to how much stuff is laying in my storage. But it's still made me profit, even with the new stuff I bought. So I still look at it as a win. And it's just one of those things that when I have time, I'll revisit it, rebrand it. And I kind of want to just I want to be re-motivated to do it. I don't want to just force to do it. It's like the whole content thing, that was me. I decided to end 3 of my businesses at the beginning of this year. And I was just like, I just want the space to find what's next. I don't want to just find another business. I just want to be like, R&B's there, it's cool, I'm okay, but I want to find the next thing and I don't want to force it. And that's what I want to happen with the game as well.
What were the 3 businesses that you ended?
Well, I stopped working with Axel. I still do a show with him, but I stopped managing him. Ended Faded, as you may know. And kind of ended a night of, so similar to Axel, like I ended a night of as a company, but I still just do one-off shows.
Okay.
So, what made you come to those decisions?
A lot of it was just wanting free. Like last year, I spent 100 nights in hotels. So I was away.
A third of the year.
And it was a lot. And it was, even though I'm still away a lot now, I've learned from last year and I traveled differently now. So last year, the first leg of the tour with Axel, me and Axel were touring last year, we did like 70 days. Then you got all the R&B stuff. Faded had a few internationals, whatever, whatnot as well. And we drove for like the first leg of the tour. And it was and I'm the driver most of it. To be fair, we shared, but it was beautiful because I got to see the UK for the first time properly. Like you go up to the Highlands in Scotland, or you're going here, you're going to cities you've never heard of before. And it was nice, but also you don't really get to take it in, which is what I was saying before about like most of these trips are one day. So you're in this place one day. By the time you arrive, go to the venue, do sound check. Check in, go to the venue, do sound check. Get something to eat, it's showtime. Go back, sleep. And then funny enough, the whole gym stuff, I was doing that long before I started making content. So I would always wake up early, go find a gym in that city. I never used to film content, but I've been waking up and going and find gyms in new cities for years. So I would always go and do that. And then it's time to go to the next city. So you don't have time to explore or go see an attraction or take it in or whatever. Even on this trip to Dubai, I mean, I've been to Dubai so many times, so I'm good. But it would be great if I had time to go and see the Frame or go to the mall. I mean, I've done it, but just to kind of break it down. But
nice. And then I think that touches on nicely onto now I'm seeing you're doing, collabs with GymShark, and I mean you're wearing GymShark.
I wear GymShark. I'm not a GymShark.
Is that placement?
No, I'm not. Do you know what it is? It's fake it till you make it. I'm not a GymShark athlete yet. I get gifted a lot of GymShark, which is a start. But do you know what? It's one of those brands I actually like. I mean, it's not the only, but it's the main brand that is gym focused. Like the other brands, they're just sports brands. But for people that go gym and care about gym, that's their focus, isn't it? So for me, it's like there's a relationship there. And oddly enough, I call her my GymShark fairy godmother. Basically, I just got a random email one day and it was just like, oh, we'd love to send you out this stuff. This is like way before I did content. This is me, 4,000 followers, just faded, whatever. And then they just kept on sending me GymShark stuff and inviting me to GymShark events. I was like, what's going on there? I wasn't even like, I didn't think I was a fitness. Obviously, I was always going gym, but I was never putting it out there. So I didn't really get it. And one day I was in an email with Taze, Marv, and me. And I was thinking, oh shit, does she think I'm Keith? Because that's 3 shots of tequila. I was thinking, they think I'm Keith. That's why they're sending me all this stuff. And then one day I think I posted some GymShark stuff that I got sent. And then they responded and I recognized on Insta. They responded, I recognized the name, and I was like, oh shit, you're my GymShark fairy godmother. She was like, yeah. And I was like, you do know it's me. And I don't know why. I never asked. But yeah, so there's someone at GymShark. She's super high up now. She's actually left the UK and runs like part of the US operation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But so I think that always kind of made me just like the brand as well, because they were supporting me before I was even doing anything. And then now we talk to them on the R&B side of stuff. We haven't really, they did kind of support our fitness event in Malta. They gave us a whole bunch of giveaways and stuff like that. But just because I do so many different things, I'm kind of ingrained within their team and stuff like that. So it's good. I have a little relationship with them. But yeah, making content, working with like Pure Gym and all these different gyms, it's fun. It's nice. It's cool.
You actually enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoy the gym content stuff. Like you said earlier, I want to try and keep it that it still feels fun and it's not like work. So like this trip is a weird one because I'm aiming to do 6 gyms in 3 days. That feels like work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that in an ordinary scenario, but it's because Dubai has some of the best gyms in the world and I'm only here for 3 days and I'm not trying to wait until I next come back to Dubai to get content. There'll be new gyms I can go to. The way Dubai gets built, by the time I come back, there'll be a new best gym in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
So I wanted to get the ones I wanted to get while I'm here. But I've still, like I said, one of my best days this week has been this morning. Like as much as I was rushing around, I was able to really enjoy myself and I was pleasantly surprised both times. Like I said, the second gym I went to, I now think is the best gym in Dubai and I wasn't expecting it to be. So yeah.
We have to try it now.
Yeah, no, I slip. I like it because it has everything. So I can say the names, but like Binos is arguably one of the best gyms in the world or it's the best gym in the world. But bro, I didn't realize this. They have 2 squat racks. Do you know how big Binos is? It's 2 squat racks. My gym has like 8 squat racks. It's a tenth the size of Binos. It's nuts. Obviously, you don't necessarily need it, and they do still have it. They don't really have like a calisthenics rig or anything like that. They have an octagon. They have a boxing ring. They have like combat facilities, etc. But it just means that a whole community, and I think the calisthenics, even like if you're into high rocks or CrossFit, you need that as well. That it kind of pushes that whole community out. So what I liked about TK is they have the octagon, they have the boxing ring, they have I don't even know what meter it is, but they have a massive track where you can either do sprints, you can do sleds, you can do tire flips, etc. Then they have tons of rigs. They've got like 4 or 5. They've got a whole area that's just dedicated to classes. So for people that like the social aspect, it caters for them. Yeah. They've got an indoor gym. They've got outdoor equipment. They've just got everything. And they've got a pool. They've got a pool, sunbeds, so you can just chill out and it's literally got all the different aspects. So usually what you find is one gym will do, like GymShark, they do one thing really well. They're not trying to be a golf brand or this or that. They focus on gym and they do that really well. The difficulty with gyms is there's sub-communities within the gym community. So like you said, you've got the high rocks lot, you've got the CrossFit lot, you've got the runners, you've got the people that like bodybuilders that also use machines, and you've got people that like lifting free weights, then you've got people that just like yoga, you've got people that like Pilates. You need to cater for all these things, and they do a good job of it. Saying that, I don't think they have a spin studio, I don't think they have a yoga studio, but I mean,
have you come across a gym that literally does everything? Not necessarily in Dubai, but it could be like in your travels and stuff.
Yeah, I think Third Space does actually. I'm pretty sure there's some others. Third Space is pretty good.
Where's Third Space?
There's a few of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they have them out here, to be fair, but they're definitely in the UK. They're very high end.
I haven't heard of them.
They're super high end. Like it's $250, $300
There's one like
a month.
more London, right?
Yeah, they're very, like all the videos about Third Space is I paid 10,000, no, not 10,000, but like I paid X thousand a year to go to this gym, and here's why, because it is super expensive. But it is
worth it.
Sick. I mean, it depends, because the thing is, do you do all of those things? Because I don't do spin classes, I don't do yoga, I don't do Pilates, so why am I paying for it? I think.
Actually, WellFit has it all. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, sorry, I'm going WellFit tomorrow. So we shall see.
They have the Pilates, they have yoga, and they have all different kinds of Pilates except reformer. But then they have the area for like if you want to get fit. They got everything.
To be fair, warehouse gym yesterday, that was good.
Yeah.
They had the sled. They had the cryogenic chamber.
Yeah.
They have the infrared sauna. They have the ice baths. They have all of that.
Yeah.
I recently did a tour of a gym in London, and even though it's really small, I said it's my favorite gym in London now. It's called Pure Muscles Gym, and similarly they have steam. They have infrared sauna. They have Netflix in the sauna. You can watch Netflix in the sauna, and they've got speakers. You can hear it, everything. And because it's infrared sauna, it doesn't
steam up.
Steam up, yeah.
So you can literally chill in there and watch it. But then they've got really good equipment. They've got an outdoor area. They've got a convertible roof. So if it's raining, the roof's on. If it's not, they put it off. Sick. Really cool gym.
Yeah, that does sound cool.
Yeah, that's mad. Like, and would you say that your trips to Dubai has got the better gyms overall in the world? Or?
I haven't been to enough places. I need to go to the States, need to go to Australia.
Yeah.
Kuwait, supposed to have the biggest gym in the world.
Oh, really?
It has like I might be saying that wrong, but definitely it's somewhere else in the Middle East. It's not Dubai that has the biggest gym in the world for sure.
Okay.
I think Dubai has in its Gym Nation Alcos. I think they're like 4th or 5th on the list. But like I said, there'll be a new one soon. Like, do you know what? I was in Berlin like 2 weeks ago. This was so annoying, and I randomly just went to go check out this Gold's Gym because it looked cool. I hadn't heard of it. I always do like best gym in city and then just go through, and that's kind of how I start the process. There's some that I've heard of that I like on my bucket list to check out, but generally that's what I do when I'm in a new city. And so I went to it, 45 minutes out of Berlin, got there, very pleasantly surprised. Biggest gym until then that I'd ever seen. Like, it was nuts. I've gone inside and it's crazy. They've got like Arnold Schwarzenegger's cable machine from Gold's Gym, Venice Beach, from like the 70s. It's like there on display, and they've got 150 kg dumbbells.
Wow.
Like gold ones. Like, you're not supposed to use, it's just there for you to see.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my God. And then they're like, yeah, you can't film.
You can't film?
You can't film. You can't film. And it's so annoying because their entire gym is kitted by Gym AE, which is a brand, the same one I mentioned earlier today. And luckily, because I'm making content, I built a relationship with Gym AE, the US team, which is like one of the biggest teams, even though they're from Germany, whatever. So when I got back to London the next day, I think I flew that day. So when I got back to London the next day, I reached out to them and said, I'd love to be able to shoot content there. Could I get approval? Obviously, you can't film as a regular person. They'd done it within 2 hours.
Wow.
Which is, I'm so fuming because I could have just done that when I got there. I could have waited 2 hours. I wouldn't have been able to shoot. Now I have to go back to Berlin to shoot there. But that gym was
2 hours is a quick turnaround though.
Yeah, very quick turnaround. But it's sick that I'm able to like get access like that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, 100%. It's a testament to how hard you've been working.
Yeah, well, I did a video in Sweden, and it was a gym that was fully kitted with Gym AE, and it went viral. Yeah, and they were very happy with that because it kind of boosted. Yeah,
because I think like one of your videos, a couple of them got like over 1 million views and stuff.
Bunch now. Yeah.
It's
nuts. Like my monthly reach is still like 14, 15 million. And it's nuts because I don't actually have that many followers, but a lot of the videos just do well.
Because people that like content, like you just send it to each other. You send it to other gym people that like the content.
Especially fun. Well, it's weird because a lot of the videos, Axel taught me, oh, this is a big gem. I don't know if I shared it. This is a big gem. I don't know if I shared it with you lot. I don't know if I want to share it with the camera. Ooh.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah. Do you know what? So generally my rule is I give gems because I know that most people won't put it to use. So it's like you can tell people stuff and you still need to have the motivation to get out there and apply it. Because there's still the hard work. Just because I told you how to do it doesn't make it easy. It makes it easier.
Yeah.
But this one, ooh. But basically, I don't know. Yeah, hopefully no one makes it this far on the podcast. It's comedy is a cheat code. So when you find something interesting or like educational, usually gatekeep it. Because there's something subliminal in our minds that kind of makes sense. Like, oh, I can use that. Just like the information I'm giving now. Whereas when you find something funny, you always want to share it. So comedy is a cheat code. Once you find something funny, you tend to share it with other people, and it's just that natural organic, which is why Axel's so big. If you don't know, Axel is a comedian. He's my cousin, and yeah, he's like 600K on TikTok, 400K on Insta, and his videos go like crazy. But yeah, so because he's a comedian, his stuff is viral in its essence, whereas a lot of mine isn't. It's just gym content. So I've tried to make humorous gym content to make it go further. And it generally works, but a lot of the videos that I've actually done really well aren't funny. A lot of them are funny too. Like I think the biggest videos I've got are like humorous ones. If they're not me dying or nearly dying. Yeah. But yeah, some of the gym tours I've done. In fact, my gym tours on average do the best, especially on TikTok. Yeah. It's weird. TikTok hates me. Unless it's a gym tour, it just never goes. Like it's weird. But yeah, I can't complain.
Interesting.
Yeah, nice. And what's next for Matthew Bridgeman, man? What's next?
You're always thinking of something new.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, do you know what? I'm in this space where I'm kind of like, I want to just let it happen. Because I wasn't trying to make content a career. I just wanted to start making content for a different reason. But well, I don't know how much time we have left. Not much. But essentially in the world we're moving in now, I just feel like content's become so much more important. And I know this sounds very blunt, but this is the way I'm trying to put it in my mind, is you either become a consumer or a creator. Yeah. It's that simple. And I was a consumer and I wanted to become a creator. So I was like, I need to start making content. I need to learn how to make content. I need to get good at it. And I just needed to find an avenue to do it. And it was the gym tour stuff. And yeah, but I just want to find what's next. I don't want to force it. I just want the opportunity to kind of come or me to see something. Like I said, I might be in another country and see something and be like, I want to bring that to the UK. Or same with the videos. Sometimes people send me videos and I'm like, all right, cool. This is cool. How can I make it my own? How can I put a twist on that? Or where can I replicate it? Or where can I alter it or whatever? So I'm just enjoying it. And plus, I want R&B to grow, man. I want to take it to newer levels. I want us doing arenas to become a regular thing. You know what I mean?
Do you have more cities that you want to target?
Yeah, but do you know what? I think I'm kind of going to put a hold on that. What I want to do is focus on expanding in the ones we're in. Because the same like the big cities, London, Birmingham, Manchester, that we have in the UK, which are like, have grown. Like we've done like maybe 30 London events, maybe not 30, maybe like 20 something London events. We've done 10 plus in Manchester and Birmingham. We've only done like 2 or 3 in Nottingham. So I want to focus on those and grow them and not just be there, but be there. Because I think a lot of brands go to other countries and throw a party there and then go. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to build in other countries. We want 20 Londons. Yeah. We want to be regular. Like Dubai, we're already thinking, okay, cool, probably be back in January. And then it's like the next one. And not necessarily bigger. My thing is, let's do the same size venue, but sell out even faster. We sold out a week and a half before this event.
Yeah, I've still got friends that want to come there.
Exactly.
Oh, so
and that's how it should be.
Dubai's a last minute place.
But not for R&B. People need to miss out. People need to learn. You need to buy your ticket when it goes on sale. That's why London, we sold 3,000 tickets in 60 seconds. Because we taught people that you need to buy your ticket
Shifting
now.
the mindset, right?
Shift the mindset.
Yeah. Because Dubai is very like, oh, it's cool, I'll just pull up, you know.
I guarantee next time they'll buy their ticket.
Yeah.
They'll buy the ticket when it comes out.
Dubai's mindset needs to be changed like that though. We need help here because everyone is like on the day before. Last minute people.
Yeah.
Have you got any last tips that you want to share with the listeners before?
Wait, what's the outro tradition?
Yeah, I'm going to give you that after.
We're going to give you that.
I've given away enough gems today, man.
All right, so the outro is, we always ask our guests the same question as well. And is, if you could implement one rule for everyone in the world to follow, what would it be and why?
I don't know. I feel like I got 2. Nah, one's advice. If it's a rule, it would be stick to your word. Yeah, stick to your word.
That's a good one.
Like you don't have to give it. This is the thing that I think I stress to people is that sometimes just say I'm not sure. Maybe I won't. But don't say you can do something until you can do it.
It's like saying, oh yeah, I'll be there, and then like, I hear that.
But if you're like, oh, I'll see what I can do, or maybe that's different. Cool. But I think that's the habit that people need to focus on. I think especially people feel pressure. It's like, oh shit, I don't want to let them down. But don't say yes until you're sure. But I know a lot of people don't like hearing no. They don't like the maybe. Oh, let me know. Do you know yet? You're like, if I can be there, I can be there. But if I'm saying yes, I'm there.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
Whether it's a skill or turning up or whatever it is.
Yeah. Normally for the more important things, but if you have it as a rule, it will apply throughout. And it's a good thing to have as well. And I feel like, I don't know, for me especially, I don't know if it's the community that I'm from, but like, especially like one of the things my dad always told me is, your word is your bond, man. People are gonna respect. Like, even today, I booked a videographer for the event today, and he's like, "Oh, I need half beforehand," and I'm like, "You don't know who I am. I'm gonna pay you. Like my name is worth too much for me to dodge paying. Like you're gonna get the money, bro. Don't worry about it." But and that's the thing. When people know that about you, they can trust you, and they'll bring opportunities to you. Things come your way because they're like, "Yo, he's a solid guy." People they might be able to say, "Oh, he's blunt or this or that or whatever," but when it comes to business, you're gonna do what you say.
No.
And when it comes to life.
Yeah. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Love that quote.
100%, man.
Love
that, man. Yeah.
But thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
Loads
coming
of
through.
gems.
Yeah.
I feel like I just need to pick your brains about so many things, but save it for off camera.
Like, when I saw that R&B was coming out, I was like, yeah, we need to get Matthew on this podcast,
I appreciate
man.
it,
So,
man. It's been good. What time is it? Oh,
okay.
Straight to the party.
Give him a
Straight
clap.
there, yeah, man.
No, thanks.
Thank you very much.